Hello everyone, Regina here with Refuge One Herbal Teacup and More, and we're going to make our flags. Y'all ready? Let's get into it. I'm going to tell you what you're going to need for this project. You're going to need 2 yards of chiffon or your favorite material. You don't have to use chiffon. I like chiffon because it's easy to work with and you get a nice flow with your flag. You can use any kind of material that you want or try to, but just keep in mind that some flags will be very heavy and you don't want that swishing sound when you're swinging your flags. Make it sound like you're getting ready to take off. So, keep that in mind. But you will need 2 yards of chiffon, preferably. You will need a heat bond. Now, I'm going to tell you something about the heat bond. You have a lot of hem adhesives on the market, but what I recommend getting is the heat bond because it's just way better. I get mine from Hobby Lobby. You'll need 3/8 inches. But what I do is I just buy the different kinds and just keep it on hand. I've got the 3/4, but the heat bond, you can get them Hobby Lobby. I just load up, but for this project, we're going to be using the 3/8. So that's what you're going to need. You're going to need your heat bond. If you want to decorate your flag, you're going to need some guinea feathers. You can get these at Hobby Lobby as well. You can get any color you want, just like I said in the previous video. So you'll need some guinea feathers if you want to decorate your flag, and you'll need some very sharp scissors. With the bamboo poles, they're all 36 inches. You can use whatever width you want. Some are bigger, some are smaller, but just keep in mind, the bigger the flag, the bigger the pole you'll want, because if it's too small, it'll break. So use any kind you want. I'm using, I think this is what, 5/16. But like I said, they're all 36 inches. So, but you be the judge of it. You know how hard you swing your flag. You know what you want to do with your flag. So if you get too thin of a rod and you're a heavy swinger, or you've made the flag too heavy, your rod will break. So make sure that you get a nice rod. You can start off with a thicker rod like the 3/8, which is a lot bigger. Let me show you. Than the one that I just showed you, the one that I'm actually going to be using. If you can see that, the difference. So let's get going and start making our flag. We're going to do our cut. Like I said, remember what I said, when you get it and it comes on the roll, when they cut it for you, it's going to come with what I call a factory edge. You're going to have that seam. You're going to want to refold it so that you can get a bigger cut. We're going to need every bit of this room. And take your time with your flag and have fun. Just remember that you're designing your flag with you in mind. I also promised to show you the dyes that we're going to use to dye our flag for those of you that want to be groovy. You like groovy flags, you like colors and things like that. Line it up as best you can. We'll talk about that on our next flag. The next flag that we make, we're gonna dye a flag. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut in a circle. So we're gonna start at the top, at the very edge. And we're gonna cut in a circle. You're also going to need a lighter. Just try your best not to get any creases. See, like I just did. I'm gonna go all the way around in a circle. And don't worry about that because you can come back and uniform that right there. Let me move my table out a little bit. We're gonna do the same thing on this end. Start at the very edge. Work your way around. Try to get it as round as possible. Don't be afraid to move your material if you have to. And line it up as you go. Everything lined up. I don't throw away my pieces, either what's left over, because you can use them to make ends for your flags to hang your feathers on. And now that we have it, I'm going to go ahead and iron this crease out so we'll have an even piece of material with no flaws. Now, what we're going to do is too, let me make sure that everything is set because some people be coming in and using my iron. You want to have this on a synthetic setting, and I think that's no matter what material you use. We know we're not going to be swinging cotton, so you know it's going to be some type of synthetic material to make your flag, because like I said, if you use too heavy of a material, your flag is going to be too heavy to swing. It's going to be awkward, and you're not going to be able to worship the way that you want with your flag. So be careful, pay attention. If you're getting satin, make sure that you pay attention to the satin. Some satins are a lot heavier because they're basically designed for like weddings and special occasions and things like that. So make sure you get a thin satin, and we'll talk about that too in some of the other videos. I actually have some satin that I can show you what to purchase and what not to purchase, and I will show you the difference between those. So we're going to iron out this crease, this manufacturer's crease. And the beautiful thing about flagging is that even if you're not part of a dance team, or if you want to start your own praise and worship team at your church, or just say if you have a women's group, or you just want to start a praise and worship team outside of church, you can do that. I mean, we don't necessarily need to be part of anything to worship God, but that's the beautiful thing is that you can worship freely. You don't need a group. God, we were made to worship. So, designed to worship. Flags, you worship. You know what I'm talking about. I think praise and worship is one of our strongest warfares that we could possibly do. Okay, so now we're going to line this up so that we can cut it through. And before you cut your flags to separate them, make sure that you're lined up evenly. To the best of your ability. I'm also going to be telling you the difference between the colors, what they mean, what they represent in the kingdom of God. If you read your basic instructions before leaving earth, and anything that you know about God, our Father has excellent taste and is so into colors. But the colors mean something. They represent something. Now that we've got it lined up, we're going to go in and we're going to cut and separate. Be very careful. Because even though we're going to fold it, you want to get it as even as possible. So now we're going to go in and we're going to cut to separate. Keeping an eye that your material does not move, because you don't want to have your flags one bigger than the other. Just remember when you're getting your material together, see how it moved? You gotta be careful. It's very slippery. Make sure that you flip it. You're gonna get 2 yards. And I get 2 yards because I like the bigger flags, and I'll show you. 2 yards will get you this size flag. That's what we're making now. So 2 yards will get you this size flag. One yard will get you this size flag. Which you see the difference. Which is okay, you can still swing. But I just like the bigger flags. I do like the bigger flags. And now we have our cuts. And here's 1, and here's 2. Now we're going to go in, and I'm going to show you how to burn your edges. I know that I have people coming in and grabbing my lighters, but bear with me. Bear with me. Now, what we're gonna do is, a lot of times too, you wanna peel these off. Some come off very easily, some don't, but if it doesn't come off, you can apply heat to it. If you don't have a heat gun, you can use a blow dryer, okay? Because this is actually plastic, this is not paper, but it will separate the glue from the stick and allow you to peel it off properly when applying that heat from the your blow dryer or your heat gun. Now what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna come back in with the 3/8 hem adhesive. You're gonna line your stick up. And you want to leave an opening at the end of your tail. That way you can take your stick in and out so that you can wash it as well. And that's the reason why I like this particular brand of hem adhesive, because it does not come apart when you wash it, and you can do like a fluff dry and it won't give and take away and dissolve and things like that. But you're gonna go all the way to the end, from one end to the other with your tape. Make sure that when you're ironing, that your iron doesn't touch the hem adhesive, because it will dissolve it on contact. And try not to get any on your iron, because it's very goopy on the iron. If you do get it on the iron, just take a little bit of salt, and everybody knows this old seamstress trick. A little bit of salt and just rub it around and it'll take it off. But we're gonna try to do this gingerly so that we do not get any on our iron. And you're gonna fold it over. Keep your stick in place the best you can. If you have to move your tape, move your tape. I'm gonna fold it. And then bring your tape to you. If you can see this, bring the tape to you. You want to snug up against your stick. Try not to use too much of your top to put your stick in, because you'll be taken away from the bottom of your flag. So this is going to be good right here. Try to get it as flush as you can. And then you're just going to press and run it down. Press and run it down. You're going to take your time with this. And just iron it in place. I leave the steam on because it just works better with the tape. That's why I have a cover on my table, because it's very friendly and it marries really good with the steam and when you're ironing your hem tape adhesive, and it takes the steam really well. Now I'll put the link in the description of where to get the tapes and the cloth for the table and everything as well. I'm going to come all the way down with it. Your tail, you're going to want to try to keep the same width as the line that you use to put your stick in. You don't want a really big tail. But remember, you want to leave an opening to where you can take your stick out. And then run it all the way back down again. And there's one flag. There's one. Isn't that nice? I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the ends and how we're going to get that rounded part. So bear with me. So you're going to need a lighter. Excuse my left side. You're going to need a lighter. And what we're going to do with our lighter is you're going to, let me show you this up front and personal. It's going to look like that. You see this right here? And then what you're going to do is you're going to just hold that, melt it a little bit, and then press it down, because we're going to end up putting the end cap on it. But you see how that is frayed? We're not going to be sewing anything, but you're just going to go over it. And we're going to go all the way around with it. And you're going to see. And what we're going to do with that is, these are the end caps. You get to make end caps. These are different size end caps. All this is little drops of glue. So you'll need a glue gun. This is a bigger end cap. And you just put it on some parchment paper, you know, just little drops of glue, and you'll get your end caps, and then they just pop right off. And I have different sizes that I've made. So that's what these are. So you'll get to make these, and I'll show you how we make those as well. But as you can see, it's fairly easy. You will need a heat gun, a glue gun. So you will need a glue gun, and you'll need lots of glue sticks. And that's another thing that I purchase a lot of too. If you see them on sale, buy them. These are the glue sticks. Glue gun. And I actually got these from the dollar store. Crafters Square. And then this glue gun, I've had this glue gun forever. But what we're going to do is, I'm going to take one of our end caps, find the size that we need, which is a small one. I mean, you can beautify your tips too. You can put glitter in them, you know, when you're putting them down on the parchment paper and things like that if you want. If you don't want feathers. I like the feathers. But what we're going to do is we're going to put just a little drop of glue on the tip. Just a little drop. Just enough to hold that end cap in place and put it on, and watch your fingers because the glue is very hot. And then that's what it looks like. So we have that one. That's one. And then what we're gonna do is, you see all of that ragged, you're just gonna take your lighter and you're gonna just go down. If you're young and you need assistance with helping you burn, please get an adult. I would say if you're 16 and under, please get assistance from an adult so that they can help you, because you don't wanna hold this too long, and you know, safety first. Uh-oh. I'm going to need a new lighter, and just run it as quickly as you can and get it as round as you can. See that? So this is a no-sew flag. And all you're doing is getting all of that, the raggedy pieces. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me get closer to you so that you can see what I'm talking about. This part right here, let's look at this part. See that? How raggedy that is? And all you're gonna do is uniform it with the fire. Get all of that away. And just run it up and down until it rounds off. Until it rounds off. And just take your time. Especially with the fire, please take your time. Don't hold it too long. Just go very quickly. And that's one of our rounded cuts of our corners. Remember, you don't want to hold it too long at all. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut this off. And we don't want to burn that because that's where our stick is going to come out. so that you can wash it. Take the stick out and wash it. And there you go. And now what we're going to do is we're going to just iron the tail to be nice and flat. And it'll look like it's closed up. But there you go. There you go. There's your flag. Now, I'm going to show you how to put a feather on the end. But isn't that nice? That's nice. You got a nice flag. What we're going to do is you're going to take some of your material. And you're just going to cut some strips out. I say about 2 inches. Or longer. It just depends on what you want. It is your flag. So if you want it bigger, then you make it bigger. And then you're just going to do the same thing. Run your fire down the sides. Right? And you end up with a nice little ribbon. And then we're going to pick out our feathers. Let's do the orange. Let me show you what this looks like. You have these feathers, and then you have that little eyelet right there on the tip. And all you're going to do is you're going to just run this through that little eyelet. Just run it through. And make sure you lined it up. See? Oh. And that's going to hang on the tip of your flag. So now what we're going to do, so we're going to come back in with our tip. So you're going to need 2 end caps. A small one, and that's why I said make different sizes of your end caps. Make different sizes. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take just a little dab of the glue and put it right there on the tip. And then we're going to just press it together a little bit. And be careful because the glue is hot. Just press it together a little bit. Just like that. Press it together. And now that's sealed. See? And then we're going to take the tip, and I hope you can see this. Just put a dab on that tip, just a dab. And then we're going to apply our feather, but make sure your feather is turned the right way. And then you're just going to press down. Press it right on there. And that's what it looks like. And then we're going to come back with a tip. We're going to do the same thing. Just put a dab right on the top. Oops. And then put your cap on. Just like so. And it's going to look like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come back with our fire, and we're just going to go around that and round it off. Just round it off a little bit like that. Press it down and uniform it. And then we have the tip with our feathers. And then there we go. We have our flag, our first flag. And I can't really swing them in here because my ceiling fan for one, but we have our flag. There's the flag. I hope that you make this flag. I'm going to make the other flag, but I'm going to show you a trick really quick for that. Because what you want is, you see this seam right here? You want this, you want the flags to, the seams to face one another. So you're going to have to turn your flags. You don't want a left one and a right one. See, so with this one, we did it from the right, going down. And I guess you can do the same thing and you'll have to flip it, but just to be cautious, I'm going to come back in. Because you have this one. But also, another tip that I want to give you too is, you see how much of this is left? You can come back in with your fire. Be very careful, be very quick, and just go down and uniform your edge of your seam. Just get away any of those little strings and things like that. You just uniform it, but be very quick. Be very quick. You don't have to, but if you want to, you know, some people are very meticulous. I'm not anymore. I'm just happy to wake up every day. 60, turning 65. You know, age does something. It makes you appreciate a whole lot of things. I tell you that. But what we're going to do here is, I'm going to do the same thing, but we're going to go from the left. And I hope that this one comes off just as easily. And it did. Okay. Same thing, except for now we're going to go from the left, and then that way our seams will be facing one another. And remember, you want to bring your tape to you when you're putting your stick in. You don't want to bring your stick to the tape. You want to bring your tape to the stick. You want to bring your material over and meet that as well. Same thing. You take your time. Take your time. Remember to leave an opening so that you can take your stick out. Line it up. Close it off. See? Now your seams are facing inwardly. But that's how you make the flags. And then that way, you know, too, you also leave enough room to move your stick around so that you can bring your material up and get that edge, you know, as well. So you don't want to close off that end, like I said. but this is the second one. So we have a left-handed one and a right-handed one. So be careful, pay attention with that as well. We've got a lot of material right there, but that's okay. We can cut that off or we can burn it away as well. But that's it. Our flags. We made our first set of flags for 2025. I'm gonna make some different colors when I come back, guys. Like my page, subscribe if you're on YouTube, give me a heart if you're on TikTok. I hope that you try these flags. They're really easy to make. As you can see, you can make some with your daughters, you can make some with your sons, because this is a co-ed event. We are all made to worship. So, you know, flags don't discriminate. Neither does praise and worship. So, God loves praise and worship. Or you can just have fun. You know, it would be an awesome craft. But now we have our flags, guys. If you're on Instagram, give me a heart as well. And get to know your flags. Get to make your flags. We made our flags. And I'm going to go ahead and finish these flags. But for the most part, here's our flag, guys. I hope that you like it. And I hope that you try to make your own flags. I'm going to show you another tip too. And when you're storing your flags, just fold it like this. Fold it. And then just roll your flag up. Be mindful of your feather. Invest in a flag bag depending on what kind of flags you get. But take care of your flag, and your flag will be with you for a very, very long time. That's flag 1. We're going to do flag 2. And then I'm going to make some different colors. And when we come back, I'm going to take the same material and I'm going to show you how to make a tie-dye flag as well. I'm going to show you the different dyes that you need to use for your material. So until next time, look, it didn't cut on the whole time. Praise Jesus. So I'll see you next time, guys. God bless you. Have a blessed day. Bye.